Apologies for that, everybody. Just so we had a bit of a technical difficulty there, but welcome to Live at the Waterhole with myself, Chad Hobson. I'm going to be your naturalist for the afternoon. I do hope everybody's having a fantastic Wednesday so far. I look forward to seeing what exciting things we can find this afternoon for you. It has been a phenomenal 2 days. The cat sightings in both, so hopefully we can see some more amazing things today. But a reminder to all of you that this is a live and interactive show, so please do send through your questions and comments using the hashtag WildEarth on X, where you can scan the QR code on screen. And if you would like to, you can also join the conversation on our YouTube channel, where you can download a Wild Earth app on any of the app stores. What a beautiful day it is at Etosha National Park. I mean, you can see there's not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful views of the Kalahari. I was about to say that the elephants disappeared, but they are indeed just walking behind the trees there. Mercedes Beanie, good morning, Chad, and happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you. Thanks once again for always tuning in. It's always fantastic to have cameras in different locations within the same reserve. There's that one at Ukukuyo in Etosha, but also this camera here on Guma in Etosha. Beautiful vistas that we do see here. Beautiful landscape. Can only imagine there must be a beautiful area to have cheetahs running after maybe a springbok out in those open areas. What a sighting that would be. It does seem like it is just two elephant bulls that are wandering around together. But as these two elephant bulls do wander off into the distance, why don't we head over to Old Donyu and see what we have there? Oh, fantastic. Ellies, elands, and some giraffe. Amazing to see elands coming down to drink. We don't often see them here. I know in the last little while they have been coming down to drink. Stefan, you're asking, is it true eland can go a long while without water? That is true. So, I mean, elands, you do find a lot of elands in areas with not too much water. I mean, you do find them up in the Kalahari, Tosha, that area, but as well as up in East Africa. And they're not very water dependent animals, but they will drink when water is available to them. I mean, very similar to a giraffe. It is such a beautiful animal, that eland. And I mean, the males and females very, very similar. They do look the same, but the easiest way to tell the difference is males have much shorter and thicker horns, whereas the females have much longer and thinner horns. I mean, you might have seen there, most of those would have been the females. You might have seen one or two males at the end come down to drink. Well, what a way to start the show. Love it when the giraffes come down to drink, and this elephant seems like it's happy to share the water hole. It's very unlike the elephant just to wander off like that. They often find, even here at Aldonja, that the elephants spend a really, really long time drinking. Maybe that elephant was here for some time before apologies for that, before the show did start. But at least it gives the giraffe the water hole to themselves. It is very special to see giraffes drink. I mean, it must take a fair bit of effort for these giraffes to drink. I mean, spreading those legs wide like that, bringing their whole body all the way down to the ground to be able to drink. See all those beautiful red-billed oxpeckers coming to land on these giraffes as they do take their afternoon drink. You hear the hornbill calling in the background. It sounded like a yellow-billed hornbill that was calling. It almost seems like when these giraffes are drinking that they take in turns. One or two of them are always looking out for any threats that might be around. I mean, you can imagine how vulnerable they must be while they are drinking. All they're doing is concentrating on what they're drinking and maneuvering themselves around the water. Often you'll find that when giraffes do come towards water, they spend quite a lot of time just on the outskirts of the water, taking their time looking around, making sure that there's no threat around before they then do start drinking. Beautiful patternings on these giraffes. Amazing also how those oxpeckers move their way up and down on the skin of the or the hair of the animals, and also the way that they use their bill. I mean, you'll often see them like now. You can see their bills actually comb-like. They often will comb through the hair, pulling out all those little ticks and insects that might be bothering those giraffes. And often you'll find that it's around the area that the skin is very sensitive or soft. So you'll often find in the armpit areas, around the backside. Also, often on giraffes, it's around the mane. Often a favorite spot for ticks. I think it might be nice and warm. Oh, something definitely did spook them. I mean, animals generally, when they do come down to the water, they are very nervous. It's because if you think about it, I mean, they've got their heads down, drinking. Anything could really come up behind them. Outer lions could be stalking them. And you asking, do giraffes experience issues with their bones later on in their lives? So, to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure if they do experience any problems with their bones, but I can only imagine that they do. I mean, such a massive animal moving around, I'm sure they maybe are prone to arthritis or a bone disease, something like that. Enjoy, there's not a huge difference in the coloration of the giraffes. I mean, some might be slightly less dark compared to others. But, I mean, every giraffe really is different. So beautiful and peaceful having these giraffe and zebras coming down to the waterhole here at Old Donyu. Just enjoying it, keeping quiet, and just listening to the birds and the sound of the giraffe and zebras moving the water around. These giraffes just keep appearing out of the bushes. Nice, beautiful, big herd of them. Mindy is saying multiple giraffes drinking. Yay! I'm very happy that you are excited about all these giraffes coming down to drink on this fine Wednesday afternoon. Would be quite incredible to see these giraffes having a bit of a neck off, maybe once they're done with their drinks. Another herd of eland is coming down to join us. Maybe it will be nice to see the difference between the male and female eland now. These two that have come down to the water to drink now, if you have a look at them, I mean, you can see that their horns are quite thin and also very long. So these two are females. Even beautiful lighting on these two elands. Seems like it's golden hour up in Kenya now. A strange time to have this beautiful lighting. Often we talk about golden hour, that last hour before the sun does set. It's a photographer's paradise. As guides, you do start to not panic, but you start stressing a little bit if it is beautiful lighting and you aren't at a sighting. You don't have any content to shoot with your photographers, so you always try and make sure that just before you are going to get that golden light, even if the lions aren't doing much, you just sit with them. They are bound to do something while you've got that beautiful light coming through the clouds. How beautiful and big is these two impala rams that have just come down to the water? Three. They're beautiful, very, very impressive, their horns. Man, oh man, that's incredible. Extremely wide. All of them, all three of them. I'm sure they're going to have a harem of their own very, very soon. They're going to have to wait till next year, April, though, when the rutting season begins. They'll then fight for females. The cat fan, you are 100% correct. Oh, there you go. Speaking of the elands, there's some more that are arriving. You were asking or wondering if the elands is the biggest antelope that we get. So it is indeed the biggest antelope, the elands. And the eland bulls or the males, they can weigh sometimes close up to 1,000 kilograms, so 1 ton, which is pretty remarkable. And for an antelope, that is ridiculously big. You think about, I mean, a giraffe male can probably also weigh close on a ton. Joanne Miller, you're saying that all animals next to giraffes look like ants. They do indeed, especially these impalas. They look very, very small compared to this massive giraffe. But I think it also might just be this camera angle. This camera angle, so it's a different camera angle. I mean, we're quite close to the ground, so we're sort of looking up to everything. So it does make everything actually look a lot bigger than it actually is. Must be pretty frustrating having those birds flying in and out of your ears constantly. I mean, must be nice that those red-billed oxpeckers are able to clean off the giraffe, but I can only imagine how annoying it must be. Yeah, we've spent quite some time here at Old Donyu. Lots of different species. Why don't we change it up and head over to Founders and see what's happening? Welcome to Founders, Eastern Cape, where we've got a beautiful blacksmith lapwing. It's just preening himself. There we go, shaking off all those older feathers. I was hoping that maybe we were going to see a rhino or something along those lines. But a blacksmith lapwing still is beautiful. It's such beautiful colors. I mean, that the black, the grey, and the white really is pretty phenomenal. also such a different perspective here at Founders. I mean, just imagine a whole pride of lions coming down to the water to drink, basically eye level with them. Joan Miller, you wondering if the um, males and females have the same colors with the blacksmith lapwings? They do indeed. So it's very tough to distinguish the difference between male and females. Mandy, you're asking where do they nest? So you'll often find that the blacksmith lapwings will nest quite close to water. Just on the not really on the outskirts of the water hole, but a little distance from the water. They'll find a nice little place to build their nest. So they do build their nests on the ground dwelling. Oh, we're gonna leave this little blacksmith lapwing and we're gonna head over to Nkoro. Welcome to the Sabi Sands at Nkoro. We've got a nice, beautiful herd of elephants who come down in the midday to cool themselves off. I really do miss spending time in the bush with herds of elephants. It was my favorite when I was based in the bush, is just to sit and watch a herd of elephants. And I mean, sometimes you can sit with them for an hour. It feels like you've been with them for 15 or 20 minutes. Time just flies when you are spending time with such a majestic animal. Just a reminder to everybody that this is live and interactive, so please do send through your questions and comments using the hashtag WildEarth on X. You can scan the QR code on screen now. If you would like to, you can join the conversation on the YouTube channel, or you can load the WildEarth app in any of the app stores. Actually, saw that there were some lions that were at this waterhole a little bit earlier on this morning. So I wonder where they might be. Maybe they relaxing in the shade of the nearby drainage line, I found a nice big tree just to rest under. It does seem like it is a very hot day up in the Sabi Sands, so I'm sure there's not going to be much movement from the cats right now. But as that sun does start to dip, it starts to cool off a little bit later on. That's when they are going to then start being a little bit more active. Also fantastic to see a lot of youngsters in and amongst the herd here. Always entertaining when they come down to the water, and sometimes they don't really know what to do with their trunk or how to drink, and you'll see the younger elephants will often just put their whole mouth into the water. It always just takes one elephant to get in the water. You'll often find two or three will then follow. So if we are lucky, maybe one gets adventurous and jumps into the water. Always very entertaining to see elephants rolling around in the water, having the time of their lives. Joshua Drown, you're saying in coral waterholes looking a lot better. So, I mean, it does look like they have been working on the water hole. I mean, you can just see that there's tire marks, and seems like there might have been a digger that was here. So I'm glad you say that it is looking a lot better. Water also does look very clean. Maybe this is our elephant to go in. Also, there's quite a lot of nice soft mud in the outskirts of this waterhole where these elephants are able to then cake themselves in mud to keep themselves nice and cool on this beautiful sunny winter's afternoon in the Sabi Sands. So you might find that these elephants, now that they have finished drinking, they might wander off into a nearby drainage line. Nice thick vegetation that they'll be able to feed on, get out of the sun. They might slowly then feed in that drainage line, and maybe later on, as the sun does start to set, they might then come back to the water to have another drink, or they might move to a different water hole that might be nearby. And just like that, those elephants have all disappeared. Never know what else might just come down to the water. Oh, it doesn't seem like there's too much else that's coming down to the water here in Koro. We're gonna head back over to Old Danyu and see what's been happening. Seems like we've got ourselves a bird party. Every now and then you just see that blue. I was just trying to see it, but it's that superb starling that's flying around there. Let's get that beautiful flash of blue. Ari, greetings to you from sunny South Africa. Saying greetings from the Netherlands. Hopefully it is also a nice, beautiful day in the Netherlands. Seems like all the animals have run away from us. Maybe they said we had all our luck yesterday and on Monday. With the beautiful 2 lionesses yesterday and the cheetahs on Monday. But for now, we're gonna leave Old Donyu. Let's head over to Nguma and see what's happening. White-backed vulture. Let's come down to the water to have a drink. Wonder if maybe there is a carcass somewhere around this area, and now this vulture's come to quench his thirst. We're gonna head over to Ukuguyo, see what's going on. Crazy how different the 2 waterholes are in Etosha. We came from Nguma now to Okuguyo. Very, very different landscapes. Such a beautiful, peaceful scene here at Ukuguyo, and we've got some animals coming down to the water. Just incredible how different the landscape is up in the Kalahari. I mean, I've only ever been to the southern parts of the Kalahari, and I was up at Swalu towards the end of last year. There's one waterhole at Swalu that looks very similar to this, called Kalkpan. Had some phenomenal sightings there. Seems like this might just be two elephant bulls that might be spending some time together, maybe away from the herd. Maybe there was a herd a little bit earlier on that came down to drink and we just might have missed them. Apologies for that. The feed did freeze up at Ukuguyo, so we're now back in Kenya, in East Africa. We've got two young male giraffes. Yeah. You can just see by looking at their ossicones or their horns on top of their head, you can see how thick they are. And they do still have quite a lot of hair on the top of them, but over time, as these two young males will fight one another or neck, they'll then start to get rid of the hair on top of their horns. There's another huge impala. I can't believe the size of these impalas up in East Africa. I don't know if it is just me, maybe I haven't been in the bush for some time, but that impala does look very, very impressive. Mercedes Beanie, I'm not sure. So you're wondering if does anybody remember the last time when 1 ton was seen? I'm thinking it's been a few weeks by now. So yeah, I'm not sure. I wasn't really up to date with the sightings and things like that. Um, but hopefully somebody can maybe help us out. There's been a constant flow of birds coming into Old Donya in the last little while. Seems like they take the opportunity to come down to drink when there's no other animals. You don't see them when there's elephants or giraffes and things like that drinking. It would be fantastic if old One Ton could make an appearance for us. I definitely did see him the last time I did live at the waterhole, which I'm not 100% sure exactly when that was. It was definitely last month sometime. Towards the end of July. Such a beautiful, peaceful scene, with this giraffe. Yeah, I think we're gonna head over to Ukukuyo and have a look at those elephants. Catherine, you're saying that you haven't seen one ton for a while. He was there every day and then stopped coming. So, Catherine, you might find that what's happened is maybe one ton went into must, and there was a herd of elephants that um, came past the area, and one of the females was in estrus, ready to mate, and so he might have then followed that herd, and that herd could have moved quite some distance away from where he normally is, and he'll then try and mate with that female, and then once he's done, he might find that he'll come back. So I'm sure he will make a reappearance. We'll just have to keep a close eye out for him. Rage Bear, you're saying that he was there last week, if you recall correctly, but during the evening. Well, there we go. So I'm sure he is still around. These two elephant bulls are having the time, just relaxing, enjoying the water on this beautiful winter afternoon. It seems like those two elephant bulls have now finished up for the afternoon drink. Maybe they're gonna go try and find somewhere that they can feed. I think elephants up in these areas such as the Etosha and in the Kalahari, they've got to move huge distances in order to get food. And you can see there are a couple of trees around here, but to get the freshest nutrients, they are going to have to move some distance. Looked like that elephant wanted to climb the fence there at the camp. Oh, now that those two elephants have wandered off, we're gonna head all the way to northern KwaZulu-Natal, to Tembe Elephant Park. Oh, welcome to Tembe Elephant Park, where we expect to see elephants, beautiful elephants coming down to the water. Always brings back incredible memories from my time up in Zululand when I was studying. We spent quite some time in Tembe Elephant Park, and I actually did my qualifying game drive in Tembe. I remember we ended off at this hide, where we then had a cup of coffee and did our feedback. We're also coming up to the end of the show. We've got just over 10 minutes left, so please do send through your last questions and comments that you might have for me. Has been a little bit quieter compared to yesterday and Monday. But that's just how the bush goes. You can't see everything all the time. A lot of people always ask, well, how long is the best time to spend in the bush? And it's a tough question because I mean, if the animal's all over and you're guaranteed to see everything, I'd say 2 days is perfect, and you'll get to see it all. But generally, I'll say 3 or 4 days to spend in the bush, because you might have a day where you don't see much, and if you've only got 2 days, then you've got only 24 hours to try and see it all. So generally, the more time, the better. Doesn't put as much pressure on the ranger. Then he's got time. You've got time to then spend watching animals and not racing from sighting to sighting. That's just my personal preference. Let's head over to Madikwe. Well, I think it might be a nice way to maybe end off with these elephants here at Tau Lodge. Computer enthusiast, do you say nicest waterhole in the park? More waterholes need trees. I assume you are talking about Ukuguyo. I think that's the one. It is a beautiful waterhole. Stunning setting with those trees around. It is tough for those trees to grow in those that harsh environment. Computer enthusiasts, so don't elephants don't wag their tails like dogs do. So if they're happy, they don't wag their tails. Just if they're sort of relaxed, you'll see that they fling their tail. But I haven't seen that if an elephant's happy, then their tail will wag faster. But I know if they are angry, you'll often see, or upset, you'll see that their tail will often get very stiff and then go up. That's when you're then got to be very cautious around elephants. Sadly, we haven't seen any cats today. I thought I was going to have a streak of amazing cat sightings. We had on Monday, Tuesday, fortunately none on Wednesday. Maybe we'll have to come back tomorrow and see if we can find some more cats for everybody. It would be amazing to see a leopard, just to end off the big cat trio. Saw cheetah, saw lions, just need an elusive leopard. Catherine, you're saying 50 days for you until you're back in the bush. I'm sure you cannot wait, and You are most likely counting down every minute, every second until you are back in your, I'm sure, happy place. I'm not too sure when the next time I'm going to be in the bush is going to be, but I'm also excited already. I don't have any plans just yet to be back in the bush, but I'm sure at some point soon I will be back. Maybe I'll have to see if I can get a stint at one of the locations in the next little while. If the chicken business doesn't keep me too busy, I'll definitely jump on that opportunity. Excuse me. Sure. Try to hold those sneezes in, but they just didn't want to stay. Gilroy one, I couldn't agree more. You're saying Ellie's simply the best sightings. I've definitely had a lot of good sightings, or excellent sightings actually, of elephants, and always keeping you entertained, always doing something. They're not lazy animals like lions or leopards. Always nice to see elephants around water. That's when they can be the best. So it has been a little bit quieter this afternoon, but still a great show. I hope everybody has a great rest of their Wednesday afternoon, and I will catch you tomorrow, same time.
I'm Liam Burrow, and this is On Safari.